This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
Welcome to Animal Rights on Pet Life Radio. This is your host, Tim Link, and I'm so glad you're joining us today. Listen, we're going to be doing a little bit of something different. For those fans of the show, you know, I typically will interview a writer or an author, someone who either writes about animals or have animals as a key component of their book, a key lead in the book. Tonight, we're not going to do an interview. What we're going to do is sort of a celebration, a little bit of a talk about probably one of the most famous books, if not the most famous book as far as animals are concerned. And we're going to delve a little bit about that and talk also about the television show around the book. Of course, we're talking about All Creatures Great and Small. This is the James Herriot book and subsequent books from there. You know the books from years and years ago. It's in my opinion, the sequential guide to animal books. It's the one you want to get started with if you've never read an animal book, which if you're listening to this show, that's hard to believe. But this is one you want to take a look at in his subsequent writings as well. So we're going to delve a little bit about that, talk about the upcoming PBS specials and television show, and just get reacquainted with this. So everybody hang tight. We'll come back right after these messages. You're listening to Animal Rights on Pet Life Radio.
For generations, James Herriot's memoirs, All Creatures Great and Small, and All Things Bright and Beautiful, have enchanted animal lovers and made me become a veterinarian. Now in a set of brand new audiobook recordings, Nicholas Ralph, star of the upcoming PBS Masterpiece series, brings to life the unforgettable world of James Herriot and his menagerie of heartwarming, funny, and tragic animal patients. Full of charm and wit, the audiobooks are the perfect way to delve into the magical stories of the world's most beloved veterinarian. The All Creatures Great and Small and All Things Bright and Beautiful audiobooks are available now wherever audiobooks are sold.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back to Animal Rights on Pet Life Radio. As I said in the opener, celebrating sort of James Herriot, Dr. James Herriot's life and times and his writings. Everybody probably knows the book if they've read it before, All Creatures Great and Small, and then the subsequent book, All Things Bright and Beautiful. These, of course, are fantastic memoirs. They're warm, they're joyful, they're heartfelt. And it's basically memoirs of a fantastic veterinarian who became a well-known author and put out two of the books that are best known, as far as I'm concerned, in the world of writing about animals. And what we're seeing happening is PBS Masterpiece series is going to be putting out a series coming out in January around the two books. So the publishing house St. Martin's Griffin has re-released the books, All Creatures Great and Small and All Things Bright and Beautiful. The re-release is available now, so you can go out and pick up a copy of each of the books to acquaint yourself or reacquaint yourself with these two masterpieces in the animal writing world. And then, of course, for fans of the PBS Masterpiece series, this is going into a series and a series of acclaimed shows centered around the book. And the characters are going to be from the book, as well as there's going to be a special lead-in in addition. That'll lead in and sort of tie in both of these books. So take a look at that, and that'll be coming up in the month of January. So take a look at that as well, or put that in your DVR. So, to refamiliarize yourself with James Herriot. James Herriot, he was a veterinarian. He was a veterinarian in Yorkshire, England. He did this for over half a century until his death in 1995. He's written these best-selling memoirs, which include All Things Bright and Beautiful, All Things Wise and Wonderful. He wrote The Lord God Made Them All and Every Living Thing. And, of course, All Creatures Great and Small, which is probably his best-known work. James, at the age of 23, Dr. James Herriot qualified for veterinary practice. He started his veterinary practice in Glasgow Veterinary College, where he went to school, and then he moved to the town of Thirsk. in Yorkshire, UK, where he worked in this sort of rural practice. He handled basically every creature you could possibly think of. As a very rural veterinarian clinic that he had, and he worked there for numerous years. He would live and work and write in and around the Yorkshire area and the region, spent his entire life there. And during this time, he sort of collected all these stories they had. Some he wrote down, some he kept to himself, some were embedded in his mind. And he always dreamed for years and years and years of writing a book about his experiences, his veterinarian work and his family and all the animals he encountered. But, he didn't start writing till he turned 50 years old. So he finally got around to putting all this sort of pen to paper back in the day, I would imagine, maybe typewriter, because if you reflect back to the books, All Creatures Great and Small and All Things Bright and Beautiful, those books date back to the 70s. We're talking about 1972, I believe it was the release of the All Creatures Great and Small. So the books have been around, obviously, for a long, long time and are still going strong, still bestsellers, and definitely books you want to read and reread if you haven't done it for quite a while. But, for those of you that have thought about writing or maybe just dabbled in a little bit, thought maybe there'll be a time when you can get around to doing it, well, guess what? Here we are, Dr. James Herriot, at the age of 50, finally sit down to put all this together and created these great works. And they were all about stories, things that touched his heart and he thought would touch the reader's heart as well. He wrote the series of books I mentioned before. In 1979, he was awarded the title of Order of the British Empire. So when you think about his life and you think about here is this person that went to college, got a veterinarian degree, went to a rural part of the country and had a practice, had a family, had a life as normal. Everything was great, fine, and dandy, but always had this desire to put all of his stories into books and publish. I know he never had any idea whatsoever it would turn out to be what it is today, that he would get the accolades that he well deserved. And the books are still around. We're talking 50 years now, almost 50 years when some of these were first published, and now they're being re-released again and loved by many, many hundreds of millions of people around the world. So I just wanted to sort of highlight that, the books, All Creatures Great and Small and All Things Bright and Beautiful, they are touching memoirs, as I mentioned. They not only were the best-selling books, but they were really heartwarming memoirs. Basically, the books center around the veterinarian practice, the menagerie of different types of animals and animal friends that he had and he took care of, all of his clients' animals that they had. The stories are sort of full of just everyday things that people can relate to. So I just wanted to highlight that in this episode. Unfortunately, I never had a chance to talk or meet with James Herriot, but I loved his books for years and have read them, obviously. And now with the re-release of the books through St. Martin's Griffin, they're available now, and as well as the PBS Masterpiece series that's coming out that everybody should take a look at. It's a chance, like I said, to get reacquainted with James Herriot and his work, and also read the books as well as watch the show. So everybody go pick up a copy of the books, read through it, compare it to what the PBS Masterpiece series is all about. Obviously, they got some great characters, great actors in that as well. And realize what it's like to be a rural veterinarian who has some great stories to tell and puts them down on paper. And next thing you know, 50 years later, people are still reading and loving the work. So I encourage all of you to pick up copies of the book as well as take a look at the PBS Masterpiece series, and then start writing your own stories. Take the stories of the animals in your life or the animals around you, put them in a blog or an article or in a book, and who knows? You may be the next guest on Animal Rights on Pet Life Radio. Everybody have a great day.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.